wants to know, I want to know, why are you single? Why are you single?
Oh, me?
You, a stunningly beautiful, intelligent, witty, beautiful smile, beautiful personality, got it going on, self-made woman, has handled her business for years and years. Why are you single?
God, you put me on the spot. Why am I single? Why are you single?
Absolutely. Why are a whole bunch of y'all single?
Spill wants to know.
Yeah.
You tell me, I'll tell you. You show me yours, I'll show you mine.
We want to know.
Why are you single?
Oh, goodness.
Am I single?
Why are you single?
How much time do we have?
We got time.
Okay.
And we, you know what? And we want to know because we know there are a ton of women out there.
I'm not the only one.
Just exactly. And more
Boom.
and more. Why am I single? So we want to know. We're actually going to be doing some relationship shows coming up very shortly. One where it's just women and talking about relationships. Not everybody will be single, just talking about relationships in general. Then we will have a show with men talking about relationships. Then finally,
can we get Usher on here and find out why is he single? Bang, bang, bang.
Nobody kiss it like you. Don't nobody. But then we're going to put them all together, and we're going to have that discussion.
Yes.
We're going to have the talk.
Because we'll have the spill.
We'll have the spill on the spill, and we're going to talk about it because it's a very serious problem. Or you know what? For some people, wouldn't even call it a problem, but for some people, it is a problem because there are a lot of people that don't want to be single.
Of course.
So we want to know what is up.
Right. What's up?
So you know what? Let us know. Why do you think you're single? Hashtag, I ain't got a clue.
I ain't got a clue. You got a clue?
I don't have a clue.
I know. Dang. Kind of messed up.
It's real messed up.
Well, I'm about to find out something. Dude.
Do you think it's because you can't cook?
Ain't nothing like that on this side of town.
Not good, but a lot of these young women can't cook, Michelle.
I know.
Because they were raised by children.
I didn't cook. I didn't cook right away.
I didn't either.
I didn't cook right away.
I didn't
It's
either.
very, very interesting. I think I told you. 3 months after my mom passed away, I just started cooking. And it was like, and my mom was a serious cook. Oh my God. It was like she just jumped down on me and said, listen, polo thing, figure it out. Go on in there. Let's get this thing going.
But you were never actually in the kitchen with her showing you how to cook?
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
So if there is a question as to why we're single, I hesitate to throw blame somewhere, but some of us were raised with moms who really raised strong, independent girls. And I remember someone saying to me, you're going to be the dude or me? Ouch. Hurt just a little, but I get it now. Didn't get it at the moment, but I get it because, we've spent a lot of time doing guy stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. But a lot of times we spend a lot of time doing the guy thing because we didn't have a choice.
Yeah, some of us didn't have a choice, but I will say that I have to be honest. I have to tell my truth, and my truth is that I never really allowed guys to be guys.
In what way? What way?
I was always doing something. I was always busy. I was always handling it. And there was a level of insecurity that made me believe it wasn't going to get done if I didn't do it. So I never really gave men an opportunity to be men, and for that I think I could say I'm sorry, but I didn't know. I don't think I knew any better. I won't. I mean, it was just like it goes back to what we were talking about in the other segment. You know, I was a tomboy. Was kind of a guy.
Mm-hmm.
Grew up with boys. You know, my mom was very, very strong-willed. My mom kind of ran the house.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so I didn't really. You know, I didn't spend a lot of time being a girl.
You saw strength.
I saw
From a woman.
an
It was all
extreme level of strength, but
Mhm.
not quite understanding that, you know, it was something that had to be done because my dad was doing the working thing.
Mm-hmm.
He was working,
So your mother didn't work?
not for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, yes, but not
Mhm.
for a long time. You know, so I just watched. And what's interesting is I've read this on more than one occasion where some women grew up thinking that their mother's roles were so insignificant and they wanted to be more like their dads. And some women have subconsciously done that, not realizing the value in being a great mom,
Mm-hmm.
in keeping a great household,
Mm-hmm.
in making sure that good, nourishing meals were cooked and a house was clean and your friends could come and have a great time, and just not giving value to the
Right.
beauty that is a full-fledged woman.
Yes.
You know, it's very interesting. No disrespect to Gloria Steinem, but that whole situation, you know, yes, we want equality,
Mm.
you know, but my son often has said to me, you want one way or the other, Mom. Girls should want one way or the other. They want everything. They want you to hold the door for them, but then they don't want you to say anything else. You know, he said, I never know what they want me to do. I said, you keep holding that door, baby. You keep holding that door, because that's the right thing to do. But I'm simply
Mhm.
saying that, you know, there came a time when, you know, June Cleaver was shunned and looked down upon, and who wants to just be a housewife? But there's so much merit to
Oh,
being that
absolutely.
kind of mom. I think your mom was probably that
My
kind
mother
of
never
mom.
worked.
Yeah, and that's
My mother
that,
never worked.
and sometimes that is looked,
Oh,
like I said, looked
absolutely.
upon and with a negative eye. But there's a beauty to it, and unfortunately for me, I didn't notice it when I should have.
And you know, and another thing is, a lot of times what people don't understand is some women go to work because it's easier than being a stay-at-home
Oh
mom.
my gosh!
Okay, that is work.
Men know. They say, God,
Yeah.
what? I mean, when men really start to look at the complexity, the beauty and the complexity of being a woman, with the physical requirements of
Hmm.
being a woman,
Hmm.
we won't get into that. Probably makes some of the men faint. You know, just having a baby. Most of them, man. Mm-mm. I've watched men have colds and they turned into little
Mm.
boys.
Oh my
You
God.
know, and I'm going, babies?
Yeah.
Other womanly things? Never could handle it.
No.
And some men are big enough to say, I don't know how you guys do that. My
Yep.
son even says, he says, Mom, you women, you got so much. He said, I have so much respect for you guys. You do, there's so many things you do
It's true.
and have to deal with and have to accept and have to go through. You know, so
It's true.
I think part of my being single is just not knowing how to be a partner. I can admit
Really?
that. Yeah.
Oh,
And I don't say that in a way that I don't say it to belittle myself or downgrade myself or anything. I mean, you just have to be honest with things. I don't know how to speak French. You know, just kind of learn it. And sometimes relationships feel as foreign as a foreign language, especially if you don't have anything to mimic or a role model.
Mm.
You know, there are people like you and some other good girlfriends of mine whose parents have been married this whole time. They've watched that, they've seen it, they know the beauty of everything won't go as we think it will, but we hang
Right.
in there and we just keep muddling along. I won't lie, I was spoiled. When things didn't go my way, I'd walk out in a minute. Oh my God. I was little. If a game wasn't going my way, I'd turn it over. We play checkers, I'm losing. I tipped the board. Spoiled. Kind of spoiled.
Yeah.
So I know that when I do go into that joint relationship, which I know is coming, I'm clear because now I want it. Because I don't think I ever even really wanted it, even when I was doing it. I didn't really want it. It just felt too different. It just felt too different. So I don't know how many other women feel like that, but you know.
I think that today nothing speaks to monogamy, nothing speaks to the sanctity of marriage, nothing speaks to some things are difficult, but you have to work through them. You know, this is a microwave society, as we know.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? Oh, the eggs running? I'm on divorce. You didn't take out the trash? I can't deal with that. I want a divorce. Today, it's like nobody's willing to work or struggle. Life ain't easy. Relationships certainly aren't easy. You bring your baggage and another person brings their baggage, and then you bring that together and you put that in the same house, in the same space, over years and years and years. That's not easy. It's difficult. And today, to me, the easy thing to do is to walk away. I'm out.
Well,
This ain't working.
yeah, I mean, I kind of get it because it just becomes a choice where you say, well, it could work, it could not. I think one of the things that's very interesting is that most people don't want to give romantic relationships the value and the just due that they deserve. And I say that to say there's a reason why you're with a man.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different relationship than you have with your child.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different relationship than you have with your sister. It's a different relationship than you have with your parents. It's a different relationship than you have with your friends. It is different. It should be treated differently. Mm-hmm. So there are those, including myself, I think have in the past, but I see it differently now, that seem to feel that it should work the same way. It kind of doesn't, in my opinion. And the reason I say it doesn't is you are not going to do with your husband what you do with your dad and vice versa. You're not going to do with your husband what you do with your son. You're not going to do with your husband what you do with your sister. You're not going to do with your sister what you do with your coworker. When I say what you do, I don't mean just physically what you do, how you interact. So I know that when I go into that situation, I will be handling it differently than I did in the past, which means there is a place and a level of sanctity that this person receives that none other receives, because it's just not the same relationship. I remember my son asking me when he was a little boy if I loved Gramps. That was my dad, his granddad. Do you love Gramps more than me? I said, no. Do you love Uncle Harvey more than me? I said, no. I said, I love you guys equally, but in a different way.
Right.
In a different way. I don't love one more than the other, just in a different way. So when you can do that, it makes for such a beautiful balance. But I think oftentimes we go into a romantic relationship thinking that it is bigger than other relationships. It's just different than other relationships. It's not bigger, it's not better, it doesn't deserve a higher place. It's just a different place. So I would keep that's what I would keep in mind, and that's what I would hope other people keep in mind. But I believe that I don't like to throw numbers around, but we have to acknowledge as African American women the disproportionate amount of men versus women. We have to. There's no way of getting around that unless there's a colony of black men on Mars that I don't know about, and I need to go find them. But right here on the planet Earth, there are more women than men, period. But there is a disproportionate amount of men of color. Let's not say
Right.
African American.
Right.
Men of color that are available to women of color for a variety of reasons. So, and I think that, I don't know if it's going to change the numbers. I don't think it'll change the numbers, but I do believe that when, like you said, when women start to behave as women used to behave, in the old days, from what I understand, there was normally one or two women in the town that were a little loose. That wasn't the norm. There'd be one woman,
That's right.
Miss such and such and such,
Yes.
or whatever the case was. And there wasn't a lot of talk about it, but everybody knew who she was.
Right.
But, she could only handle one or two men at a time. Now, there are far more women who are just
Into free love.
into big love. Maybe they
Okay.
think polygamy is the way. I don't know. But they are out there, and the mindset has become freer and more open to doing it whatever way you want. And like I said, I've grown. There are a lot of things that I've done that I wouldn't do ever again, but I've grown, and everybody has to grow with the situation. So, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I'll say it again. For me,
Why are you singing?
you know what? I never thought that I would be the type that had a whole lot of different men. Even when I was younger, that wasn't my thing. I hated dating. I hated the dating scene. I hated it. Oh God, is he gonna touch me? I don't want him to touch me. He don't know me like that. Or the minute you go out somewhere, he gonna try something. And now I think it's just a given that if a man thinks he's taking you out to get a burger, he's thinking he's getting something for that burger. And
But there are
that's
people.
that's the
there are
mindset
people-
today.
Well, there are women who have done something.
I say
so
they
they're-
wouldn't do it if it didn't work.
Yeah, there's an anticipation
Absolutely.
of something that has already occurred.
Yeah, and for me, my mother used to always tell us, that thing is a gold mine. Don't treat it like a cesspool. It's a gold mine.
My girlfriend told me that her dad said, it's so funny, my girlfriend said, she told her dad told her, said, sweetheart, baby, that's a gift, and you don't give a gift to everybody.
Absolutely.
I like that. I like that.
And
That's
we know we treat our gifts.
And she said, you don't give it to everybody, and you only give it on special occasions.
Okay. And I don't think that's the mindset generally today with women, Michelle. I really don't.
You know what? Unfortunately, I don't even want to say it's with women. I just don't think it's the mindset. Period. I don't.
But
think,
if you
women
got to
do.
give
Yeah,
it.
women do have that hold the cookie and they control it.
Right.
But I think that there was a time when a man didn't expect to get anything. He knew better. He
Right.
knew that there was going to be some work involved.
Yeah.
That's not the case anymore.
No-
so that's
no
why I said
ma'am.
the men and the women
No man.
are of a different mindset, just based on whatever has occurred. And what's really sad is when some men are not chasing it. They get put in some weird category for not being these oversexed crazy maniacs, which is just so unfortunate because I can't think of a woman in her right mind who wouldn't want a man to treat her with
Right.
such respect and love and kindness. And so that's why I say in your right mind, because when you're in your wrong mind,
Okay.
you're looking at all kinds of stuff. But wow, I tell you, but I will say, and this will be a serious conversation, I will say that that disproportionate number opens my eyes to a lot of different options.
So you the rainbow dating type?
I don't know about the rainbow because I don't like every color. I don't want to date a Martian. I don't want anybody green. and no purple people eaters. But there are a couple of colors I could deal with.
So have you always been open to other?
I've always admitted a physical attraction, or I was big enough to say, God, that guy's fine. You know, but it didn't
matter.
It didn't mean that I was thinking anything
Right.
about him.
Right.
Yeah. I'm an equal opportunity lover when it comes to that. You know, if you look good, you know,
Fine,
we can
fine.
talk about it. You know, we can talk about it. But I think that that's interesting, and I know that we're definitely going to have a very lengthy discussion on interracial dating, which I have some concepts about that myself that are interesting as it relates to the way women of different races are raised and what they're thought to believe and how they behave and how they interact with opposite sex. So that'll be interesting. We'll save that.
Okay.
It's just too much to talk about.
Yeah,
on
there's so
one.
much to talk about.
Yeah, there's so much to talk about.
I'm sure we won't lack for responses to the relationship questions, because a lot of women are single women. And again, I'll say it, a lot of them don't want to be single. Some don't. Some have just resigned themselves to the fact that they will never be married.
I have friends like that.
Yeah, and say, you know what, I just know it's not going to happen. So
And
I
the
don't.
same with kids.
Yeah, and I'll never have kids, which is really sad. For you, you've got a child, I've got two, grown.
And I know some of my friends did not think
That
this
they
would
would
have
never-
been the case
yeah.
back in the old days.
Exactly.
I mean,
Same
when we were
here.
in our 20s.
Mhm.
But I totally respect and appreciate my girls who kept it moving and are living really wonderful lives
Yeah.
and found a way to be great aunts or
Right.
big cousins or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
good for them on that one. Yeah.
So make sure you tune in for our upcoming relationship shows. I think you'll find it very informative, and maybe you'll learn some reasons as to why you may be single.
Ask yourself. Why are you single?
Oh,
Is it the
goodness.
cheese?
It's the cheese. So I've already done this, so it ain't that. Okay, maybe it's the cheese.
You're silly.
Oh, God. Okay.